In a world where darkness intertwines with madness, there are tales so terrifying they'd curdle the blood of the bravest soul. Today, I invite you to peer into the abyss with me. Prepare to meet Noir, a silent, tall panda whose life was an endless night. She didn't know her real age. She was stuck in a perpetual state of being on the cusp of adulthood. Before she could react, it swung open, revealing a narrow, dark corridor. Her heart pounded. The panda's face was pale, devoid of any features. She wasn't the first Noir. She was a copy, a memory, perhaps even a curse. Yet its eyes, a striking shade of amber, stared directly at her. Behind it, a long, narrow hallway stretched into the darkness. Its walls were lined with warped mirrors that reflected distorted images of what seemed to be screaming children, animals being skinned alive, and flashes of a past that wasn't hers. Its appearance sent a chill down her spine. Its skin was a patchwork of flesh and fur. Just as the creature lunged, she woke up. The forest around her was scorched and dead. The sun beat down mercilessly, and in her hands, she still clutched the key. Her clothes were torn and stained with blood. Its eyes glowed with an eerie light. Its voice was layered like multiple people speaking at once. Noir, your mind is open. Or was this just another one of the cruel experiments? Reaching into her pocket, she found the photo, a picture of her own body hanging lifelessly in room 313. But your heart is still locked. It held out a rusty knife, its blade glinting in the dim light. Slaughter your original self and stay here forever, or escape and let us in. At the end of the corridor, a faint light flickered, beckoning her forward. She couldn't remember why she was there or how she'd gotten in. She tried to break free, but the door was locked from the inside. Scattered across the floor were files bearing the chilling title, Experiment No. 313, Fusion of Animal Spirit with Human Essence. Each page detailed the horrifying process of transforming animals into monstrous hybrids through a series of painful operations. Her own file lay open, revealing a photograph of a panda, her panda, trapped in a cage. The final entry read, Subject 313, the panda, has shown signs of self-awareness. Further testing is required. The date on the file was yesterday's date. The only way out seemed to be through the window, but it was sealed shut with thick iron bars. Trapped in her own personal hell, she was forced to confront the darkness within the room, within herself. As she reached out to touch the lifeless form, the corpse suddenly opened its eyes, its gaze piercing, intense. In a deep voice, it spoke, its tone echoing through the silent room. I am Noir. Who are you? The words struck her like a physical blow. At the end, a single light flickered, revealing a bathroom. With a deep breath, she pushed the door open. Inside, the walls were a sickly shade of red. The air hung heavy, stale. The only light came from a single dim yellow bulb that emitted a suffocating glow. The room contained a single bed in the center and a large mirror hanging above the fireplace. Fragments of her past, memories not her own, flashed before her eyes. Alone and friendless, she wandered aimlessly until one day she stood before an abandoned, decaying hotel. Its paint was as black as a moonless night, and the only light came from the eerie glow emanating from its windows. The sign above the gate read, Hotel Murillo, no entry after sunset, but the wrought iron gates were open and as if beckoning her, calling her name. In her hand, she held a heavy iron key engraved with the number 313. She had no idea who had given it to her. As she stepped inside, she found the lobby of the hotel eerily clean. There was no dust on the furniture. No pictures or drawings adorned the walls. The grand staircase spiraled upwards into darkness. The only sound was that of a large grandfather clock ticking loudly, ominously. But each time she ascended, she found herself back on the first floor. The clock chimed, echoing through the silent halls. As she looked around, a message appeared on the wall reading, Room 313 doesn't open from the outside, but from within. Hope flickered within Noir. Perhaps the answer lay in the room itself. Its hand seemed to mock her, moving backward. Every step she took echoed in the vast emptiness. That's when she noticed the portraits. They lined the walls, staring blankly ahead. And then she saw one face that morphed and seemed to writhe like a living creature. Startled, she reached out, her fingers touching cold, hard glass, and then she gasped. The face in the painting was her exact likeness. She turned and hurried toward the stairs, desperate to reach the third floor. Suddenly, a door appeared where the wall had been. On the bed lay a panda, a lifeless body clad in the same attire she wore. As she looked down at the body, she saw her own reflection in its eyes. Days turned into nights, and the walls of the room became her world. Just when her hope was about to fade, a small crack appeared in the wall next to the bed. Curiosity overcame her, and she pushed through the opening. As she stepped into the room, she found herself in a cold, metallic laboratory. Then from the shadows, a creature emerged, half human, half horribly mutated panda. The room began to shake. Mirrors shattered. Reality seemed to bend and warp. Was she ever at the hotel? Had she escaped?